Greetings, everyone. P. Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another episode of Live Album Love. And in the co-captain's chair, Mr. Rick Labonte is here as always. What's going on? How are things up
Well,
in
good
Canada this
morning.
morning?
Good, cold, -8 out there, or Celsius. I'm a Celsius guy, but pretty cold. Just got back from Toronto last night, and was there for the weekend. And yeah, I'm looking forward to this catalog. I'm glad that we get to talk about the letter G, and of course, I got my Genesis live album
There you go. I have one of those as
right
well.
on.
I did not wear it today, but it's too cold. I'm trying not to wear t-shirts because it's just too freaking cold. So I'm like, I got
Oh,
the
it
long
is
sleeve
cold. I
shirt on.
got a couple of layers just to get here today.
Yeah, yeah. So everybody, new camera being utilized. Got my new Logitech Brio 501, so it's looking pretty good. It's pretty cool because it actually has a swivel head, which is kind of nice, and I believe it can
Nice.
tilt down and stuff like that. So I'll be experimenting with this quite a bit. But the most important thing is we are now recording in HD once again. So that's always a good thing. So yeah. So so little preface today on this episode. We have decided, because I have so many, the Grateful Dead will not be included in this episode, even though we are covering G, because there are so many Grateful Dead live albums, and I have quite a few. I don't even have nearly as many as there are, obviously.
Oh,
But we're going to do a separate episode where I'm going to show off my Grateful Dead stuff. So that's coming
that's a great idea.
relatively soon. We'll do that before we do H next month. So Rick and I will squeeze that in sometime.
Yes, we will.
So, so yeah, so that's going on. So why don't we get started? We have GA, correct?
G3 for me. If I go with um, the guitar G3 with Joe Satriani, Steve Vai, and Malmsteen, and I also got the live album with Eric Johnson CD. So that the beginning, they just kind of they went on tour and they would do some covers together at the end, like I believe in this case was Walking in Free World, Little Wing, and Voodoo Child with Eric Johnson with other Jimi Hendrix tunes. But it's just showcasing a couple of the live stuff on a CD. Yeah, it's kind of unique to think they do on tour. I got to see it, so I kind of bought it almost like a souvenir.
I saw G3 twice. I saw them with Eric Johnson. God, so I'm assuming it was Eric Johnson, Vi, and Satch, and then I saw Vi, Satch, and Ingve. So I saw one in New York City, one in Boston. So I was in Boston on a business trip when I saw the Ingve show. And New York City was with Eric Johnson. So God, that's a long time ago. Because
Yeah,
I think the one in Boston I saw because I was in like I said, I was on a business trip in California in Boston, and I saw it at the is it the Orpheum Theater, I believe it was, and that was probably 2003, maybe. It was
that
a
would be
long time
right.
ago. Yeah.
No, that would be right, because this is on that tour. Yes, 2003. Yes, this was in October 20th, that show. So you're yep, that tour.
Because I was with my boss, who was only my boss for like a year, and I remember he was from San Francisco, and we met in Boston to visit some clients and things like that, and like he was a big like Chinese food guy because some people who live in San Francisco just love Chinese food, and there's nothing wrong with that. I love Chinese food too.
Me too.
So we went out to Chinatown in Boston, and he literally ordered like everything on the menu. We had the whole table was full of stuff. And then I had bought tickets for us to go see the show afterwards. So, and I remember he was like not really, yeah, he wasn't really much of a guitar guy or metal guy or a hard rock guy or anything like that. But he says, "Oh, let's just go," right? So, and I remember he was so impressed with like Satriani and Vi, big time. And so, yeah, we had a great
Yeah.
time. But it was like I'll always remember that. And the other show I saw with my brother in New York City. So, yeah, good stuff.
Would would Billy playing Billy Sheehan?
Yes, yes.
Yes, I was
But
at
I
the
don't
show.
think
I
he
seen
played.
that.
I don't think he played both though. I think Stu Ham was on one of them. I
Yep,
remember correctly, but I don't remember
that's
which
right.
was which. I just remember, Billy was there, but I know Stu Ham was also playing with either Vi or Satch. I don't remember because they had different bands for all this stuff. And I think Tony McAlpine was on keyboards with Vi, I think, on
Yep,
one of those
yep.
shows, if I remember correctly. I'd have to go back and look, Rick, because it was
Me too. It's been a
a
while. I
long time ago.
remember they would go, play on each other's fretboard on the guitar and bass, and then they all jam right beside each other. It's so awesome. Steve Vai was always tasteful about putting not only picking the right song to show a little bit of, but it was always about emotion, but it was all about the band. He always showed off his band more than like Invade is just showing him, right? And
Oh
then
wow, yeah,
and Joe wrote songs based around him. So, but Steve Vai is different. He showed more of the band thing, not to probably the Frank Zappa training in him
I think so.
from
Yeah,
his career. But you know what? Another good one is the G3, which I got with Portland. I played a drum for the John Petrucci
yes,
played in the G3, and then they had Dave LaRue bass, which is another great three. So
Dave is great.
you can get like again, the three that I have, Joe and Steve is on all three. The guest would be John, and then there would be Eric, and then Inve. So that was if you want to complete that. But there's another one which I get when we get to the
Didn't Steve
GE.
Morse do one too? I think Steve Morse was on one of those G3 tours, if I
Well,
remember
I
correctly.
know I might just move this one. Generation X is where they have Nuno, Betancourt, Jack Wild, Steve Vai, Inve, and Tyson. I think it's. Well, I'm trying to figure out. Yeah,
Oh, the guy
that was
from
a tour.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that was a tour that they did just prior to COVID, I believe,
Yeah.
and so that was a unique, but they call it Generation Act, so it's kind of different.
That's quite the collection
But
of
I don't
tunes.
think I have the one um, with him playing. No,
Yeah, I don't
gotta check
remember. I'd
that
have
out.
to go look at the history of the G3 tours because I could have sworn Steve Morse did a tour. And it may have been one of those years where it was Petrucci, Morse, and because I think there was a tour where both Satriani and Vi were not one of the two were not on that tour. I don't know. I get confused because there's so many of these and so many
Oh,
combinations.
I know, eh? Especially when you, what's awesome too is to check out if you're in a guitar camp when they do the Jimi Hendrix experience, when they have all these guests come and do that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I just looked it up for you real quick. Steve Moore did participate in the G3 Guitar Tour 2012, European leg alongside of Joe Satriani, Steve Vai, and Steve Luther. Is it? Yeah. Okay.
Luther.
Fun.
Wow. Okay. All right, that's
Yeah,
cool. Wow, that's
that's kind of
cool.
cool.
And that show was the only time I ever saw Eric Johnson live. I've had opportunities to see him again. I probably should go see him again because he's great. So,
I saw him the first time when the first album came out. He was opening for Rush, and there was a Roll the Bone tour. Twice I saw him, and good time. And then I saw him, and it was a weird bill. It was BB King with Buddy Guy and Junior Wells, and it was a blues staple thing. And he played a couple blues, but most of it it's all this space techno music that he was doing that would really fall out to be in the
yeah,
middle of that.
that's a weird bill for him. I mean, I know he's from Texas and he's played a lot of blues in his life, but yeah, that's a weird bill for him.
That is a weird bill for him. He did stand out different. People respectfully, but they were there for the blues, believe it or
Yeah.
not. Meanwhile, I'm like, guys, this is a great guitar player. Nothing we're gonna hear tonight from these other players are gonna quite go near that. But it was just the genre, obviously.
Yeah. All right,
All
so
right,
next I
well,
got Peter Gabriel next. And of
go
course,
ahead.
Peter Gabriel plays live, which is his first live album. This is great. I mean, this is still my
I don't
favorite.
have that.
Oh, you don't? Yeah, this is well worth getting. I mean, this is pretty early on. What was this? 1983. So, you got two disc set. You got all sorts of great stuff on here. Rhythm of the Heat's on here. Beat Goes on here. DIY. I mean, a lot of his classic songs are on here. What else? No Self-Control, Shock the Monkey, Salisbury Hills, San Jacinto. It's all on here. This to me is the quintessential Peter Gabriel live album. However, I mean, Secret World Live is really good too. Like really good
Mm.
too. Really good. I
And
mean,
what year is that out? Because the other one was around
this was
85-ish.
yeah, that was 83. God, what
Oh,
year
it's
was this? I don't remember exactly what year this was. And of course the it's like microscopic on here. So I don't know. It was either later in the 80s or very early or really early 1993. So 10 years later. So 10 years apart.
mm.
So, but this is really good because this has all of the later stuff, which is really good. And this is more of this kind of like big bombastic world music type thing. But they're both, if you like Peter Gabriel, you got to have both because they're both absolutely amazing. So, yeah,
Have you seen Peter live?
I have not.
I did
He's
at Woodstock,
really,
94. It was the very end. He was the last show on Sunday and it was raining, but people stayed. They heard it. Yeah, he was just amazing. Actually, he was really it was like we needed that. It was a real good closer. It was it felt like a big solidarity movement. Hey, you guys went through 3 days of all this music and all this stuff. I mean, it's not like '99 when things was a riot and went crazy. In '94, it's just a big money grab, but it was a good concert still, right? You know, Metallica, Aerosmith, everybody you know,
Oh yeah.
Crosby, Stills, Nash, Traffic. But for have Peter Gabriel close the show, it was special. I gotta tell you, it was like, yeah, I never saw. Everybody looked like we were all in a trance, just like watching like a ceremony. The way he delivered it just commanded respect. I gotta say that, and that was very impressionable for me. That I gotta check out this guy because I was only 24 at the time, '94, right? So I had to find out who this guy is more than just the hits because I would hear another deep track that I was like impressed with.
Yeah, he's one of the last holdouts of like big stars that I like that I have not seen. So I haven't seen Gabriel and I haven't seen Paul McCartney. Those are really the only two on my bucket list of artists or bands that are still around that I really love a lot that I haven't seen. So will I see either one of them? I don't know at this point. You know, it's like both, you know, when they both come around, you're talking big, big bucks, and they don't come around that often. I've had opportunities, but you know, you don't jump on tickets quickly, you get shut out. And if you do or are able to buy tickets, it's so much money. So you know, we'll see. But yeah, I would like to see Peter Gabriel at least once. But
Right on.
all
All
right,
right.
shall we move on to his other band, right? That he was in, that he
Yep.
got to start with. So Genesis.
Or we want to do gallery or no? We'll move
What's that?
alphabetically.
Oh yeah,
Roy?
Rory's next. I'm sorry. Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
that's right.
But you're right. He's around the corner again. We talk about the two albums when we were saying what is the greatest, some of the definitive live albums, and we had to put both of them up there, right? Because this covers a lot more of the blues here, and this covers more of the rockin' part of Roy career, and I love them both. I play them just as equally.
They're
In
very,
fact,
I mean, they're very different. You got to have both, and
yep,
like sandwiched right in between the two, you have the Live in Europe, which is really good as well. I mean,
yep.
yeah,
And there's great DVDs you can get of the performances and live at Montrose. You got like 75, 77, 79, 85. So and it is a pretty good summary of his career here. Yeah, you got that on CD as well and DVDs. So yeah, Roy is just amazing, man.
yeah. I've got a few more too, because I mean, there's even more. I don't have every Rory Gallagher live album. There's a ton of them, but I have this Live in '77 one, Check Shirt Wizard, which is really cool, which is nice. And then if
Cool.
you're into like you know, like the radio broadcasts and the BBC stuff, there's the French
Oh
broadcast
yeah, I have that too.
sessions, 77
Yeah,
to 94 with two disc set. This is really good. And then there's the Beat Club sessions, which is awesome. This came out when
I
they
don't
were
have that.
putting out all those reissues on Eagle Rock. And then there's
Okay.
the BBC two disc BBC sessions, which is really good too. You know, and you get a lot of overlap on songs and things like that, but it's still
Mm-hmm.
really, really good. And I think I also have like a blues collection, which is like a live recordings of him just playing straight blues stuff as well. So there's plenty
Yeah,
of
I have that too.
Plenty of Rory stuff out there for those who are fans. And you know, quite
Big time.
frankly, when it comes to Rory, as much as I think he's got some really strong studio albums, I tend to listen to his live albums more than anything else when it comes to him. It's just same thing like with his old band Taste, right? And when we get to T, we'll
Yep.
talk about that. I mean, it's the Taste albums are good, but the live stuff is where it's at. I mean, he's
Yeah,
just
it it
ferocious
it
live.
it's three dimensional. You actually can visualize, and when you watch him live on video, he lived the expectations of how explosive that you thought you were hearing him, but he actually runs around and do all this without dropping a note or nothing. I mean, like this guy pretty in control of that guitar. He's not standing still and all concentrated. That guy's a performer. He's actually moving around and engaging the audience, and yet he's blowing everybody away with how precise and how good he is. Yeah, he's a raw talent that just when you turn him on and he goes. And you got to catch him. It's the lightning in a bottle. And that's why there's so many cool live albums because he never necessarily plays the same thing again, but always delivers the high energy song for a show. Everybody look forward to Rory put on a show because, it's just exciting to watch. I mean,
Yeah.
he is. Yeah, he's a great player, but he's also a great performer.
Yeah, and an underrated singer as well. Do like
Yeah,
that.
I like his voice.
Yeah. All right, I guess now we'll move on to Genesis, right?
Yeah, yeah, we are.
All right. So let's get the official ones out of the way first.
Yes, sir.
So of course
We
we've got
always do that, folks. We always try
yes.
to get the first one before we get to the boot.
Yep. So of course Genesis Live is amazing. Yeah, it's missing a couple songs. But you know, if you want to get like those couple of songs, you got to go find the Cinema Landscapes, which basically has this is a boot, but this basically has Supper's Ready on it, and Watcher of the Skies, Dancing with the Moonlit Night, I Know What I Like, Musical Box, and Supper's Ready. So that I wish this was a double album.
I
Although
wish it
it's
was.
long enough, I mean, for the most part, right? For back in the day, this is a pretty long single album. But yeah, it's missing some stuff, but it's amazing. It's absolutely
It
amazing.
is a good album. I have this other one that Sell in England in Montreal that you shared on one of the programs, and
Yes.
as a review, I got it, and I'm like, this helps us, think fill in the gap to what song that could have been played.
Yes, for sure. Yeah. So again, for those who want, let's just read them off. Watcher of the Skies, Dancing with the Moonlit Night, The Cinema Show, I Know What I Like in Your Wardrobe, Story of Five Rivers, Firth the Fifth. He does a lot of talking in between
Yes, he does. He
the
does.
musical box, Horizons, Battle of Epping Forest, Supper's Ready, and that's the whole thing. So yeah, this was 1974. So this is like a really good snapshot of their full show at that point in time.
And it's important to get because we know Peter wouldn't be here longer in the band. So,
Yeah.
and this is in the most creative, artistic part of his career with the mass and so. And again, it's a lot of Spinal Tap moments, and sometimes the mass is too heavy to sing and it affects the performance. He did a lot of new things in the tour to make the audience get something new. Even the band didn't know all the things that you got to pull out night to night. So to get a snapshot of that kind of creative spark of this, this Gabriel is good to have.
Oh yeah, for
I just
sure.
wish they filmed it. I wish they had more footage of that stuff.
Yeah, well, most Genesis fans feel the same. So yeah.
Yep.
And Rick is wearing the shirt, but this was the first Genesis album I ever bought, and it's a great one. Interesting how like I got to know and love some of these songs with Phil singing them, right? Initially.
Well, I did the same thing. See, I came in the camp with Genesis of the 83 era, that's because of my age. And I would listen and I became a fan. I didn't even know the Peter Gabriel history till Live Aid was coming on. And I heard somebody mention that think that Peter Gabriel was going to be on the same stage that Phil Collins was. And it's like, there's a history there? I didn't know. There's no internet in that time. And
No.
then I learned. And because I thought, Genesis was the first album of Genesis. Led Zeppelin, first album, Led Zeppelin. A lot of bands have the self-titled album as the first album, so I didn't know. And then when I went backwards, I did get this album. And I said, where did these songs come from? And then I had to go further back, and I went to a record store in Windsor called Olympic Records, and they had baseball cards, comic books, and records. And then, so that's when I got which is still my favorite album today of Peter Gabriel is Selling England by the Pound and Fast Track. I went backwards and then I discovered, wow, this is incredible. Almost a different band to me.
Yeah.
So, and then learned that Phil Collins was tied to the drums the whole time. And it made sense because then I got the Led Zeppelin of Robert Plant album not long ago. He's on Robert Plant as a drummer, not a vocalist. So it started all fill in that around that same time. I learned that Phil Collins had a credible career. And then I learned he played in fusion bands and other stuff in the 70s. So
Yeah, Brand
kind
X.
of
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, great live album. Good,
Yeah.
really good interpretations of a lot of these classic songs. And then, there's other boots out there, folks, that you can get from this time period. So I've got this one from London broadcast from 1976. It's called Getting in Tune. This was recorded at the Hammersmith Odeon, June 10th, 1976. Really, really good. Really good. Dance on a Volcano, Lamb Lies Down on Broadway, Fly in a Windshield, Carpet Crawlers, Cinema Show, Robbery, Assault and Battery, White Mountain, really cool. Firth the Fifth, Entangled, Squonk, Supper's Ready, I Know What I Like in Your Wardrobe, Los Endos, and Watcher of the Skies. So this is
Wow.
absolutely killer. Really
It sounds
good.
good.
It sounds very good. Yeah, sounds very
Oh, I
good.
gotta get it.
And then there's the Sao Paulo recordings from Brazil in 1977. So this was recorded at May 21st, 1977 at the Estadio do Ibirapuera, something like that, FM show. Squonk, One for the Vine, Robbery, Assault, and Battery, Inside and Out, Firth the Fifth, Carpet Crawlers, In the Quiet Earth, Afterglow, I Know What I Like in Your Wardrobe, 11th Earl of Mar, Supper's Ready, Dance on a Volcano,
Wow.
Drum Solo, Los Endos, Lamb Lies Down on Broadway, and the Musical Box. So that's
Wow, that's
really
the
good.
whole thing.
That's really good too. And then I have two from 1978, one from June, the other from October. So I have Dijon, 1978. And this was recorded in at the Palais des Sports in Dijon, France, June 3rd, 1978. And again, 11th Earl Lamar in the Cage, Burning Rope, Ripples. So this is, of course, in the number three era. Deep in the Motherlode, Fountain of Salmacis, Ballad of Big, One for the Vine, Squonk, Say It's All Right, Joe, The Lady Lies, Cinema Show, Afterglow, Follow You, Follow Me, Dance on a Volcano, Drum Do It, Los Endos, and I Know What I Like. And then the last one I
Wow.
have is from 1978. This is the Chicago show from the Uptown Theater, October 13th, 1978. Very similar show as the one I just mentioned before.
Mm-hmm.
Out of those tracks from, some a nice mix of old stuff and stuff from the and then there were three album. Really good as well. All these sound really good. These are very good Genesis recordings, every one of them. So
And that last one was without Steve in the band by this period, right? So
correct.
you got pretty good, the timeline. You got the
Yeah.
timeline
These
covered. I got to
two
do some
these two do
shopping.
not have Hackett. These both have Daryl
Yeah,
Farmer and
yeah,
Chester Thompson, yeah, for sure.
yeah.
So yeah, the last one I
Now,
have with Hackett is the Brazil. That's the last one he's on, I believe.
okay, I got to get those. I got some shopping to do.
Yeah, check Ken. Ken usually has these in stock most of the time, or yes.
Right on, I will. He helped me out before. Genesis 3 Size Live
Yeah,
is also famous concert. This was I
I got to
watched this
pull that.
Much Music or MTV. Much Music is called in Canada, I remember getting this, and then I found out they have an audio, so I had to get that. And then the Live in Wembley during the Invisible Touch tour. This concert, I wish I went, but at the time it was a lot of money, and we were just going through some really tough challenges. The financial crisis was around 2008, and I was going through some thinking, I'm like, am I going to spend? None of my friends wanted to go spend the money to go see Genesis, and it bothered me. But I made up for it because I ended up buying all kinds of live things from this period. But a lot of Genesis, when they were in Rome in 2007, really good quality. And if you have one of those theater 5.1 surround, they did an amazing job with that. And uh, that tour was for Phil's last album, and they had put out Genesis Live, The Way We Walk, Volume One, the shorts, which is all the singles and that, kind of like a greatest hits live, really good sounding, I have to admit. And his voice is amazing at this period. They didn't tune down like they would do years later. It really was sounding great. And then and this came out the year after, 92, 93. They put out The Way We Walk, Volume 2, The Long, which is the most, for us who are prog fans, this is the album you like because it's not the hit. Like they have a medley where they do Dance on a Volcano, Lamb Lies Down on Broadway, and On Broadway, and the Musical Box, and First of the Fifth, and I Know What I Like, Driving the Last Bike, Dominoes, Part 1, Part 2, the whole thing, Fading Light, Home by the Sea, second Home by the Sea, and a drum duet. So it's pretty good, like recording. Like you almost forgot to the audience cheer near the end that it was it's not studio. It's so well mixed, and being mastered, with the technology they have today, just incredible. And of course, I got live in Europe, which is kind of a compilation of performances throughout that tour, without including songs from Rome. And so it's good. Again, if you were to go see them, this was the greatest hit of Genesis of that time, and that would have been a good way to close. I know some people saw the reunion tour. I went and saw him prior to that as a solo, and he was in the chair. And it was one of the worst concerts I saw, feeling bad that I felt like we were exploiting this old guy in a chair. He's not shaved, his heart's not in it, he's just singing. And he put on, I enjoyed all the songs, the band was incredible. But a part of me, I didn't know if I wish I didn't see it. It's like going to a funeral and you don't want to see the person in the casket because that might be the last time we remember that person.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like for me. And it broke my heart because I love this guy's performance. I love the way he was when he was done, had the beard and he went out to perform for the first time. You throw these tambourines and does these acrobat things with it and juggling. It was just incredible to watch him and to see him just sit in the chair all night. That was not the way I want to remember Phil, to be honest.
Yeah, I opted not to go see the last tour they did, but I did see them in 2007. It was the only time I saw Genesis, and I have pretty good memories of that. So
And
that's
that you're lucky. I wish I did it. It bothered me that I didn't, but I didn't. I don't go to concerts alone. I never do. I always go because it was in Detroit, and I always want to go with somebody. And I couldn't find somebody who would come and spend that kind of money at that time. It was like probably only $300 or whatever. Today it was nothing, but back then it was kind of a lot at the time with where we were at, and nobody wanted to do it. I thought they were worth it, and I wanted to do it. I knew they're gonna have the big production and the light show. I know it's gonna be like Floyd experience, and I want to go, but nobody would go. But anyway, we lived it at home and watched these kind of videos.
there you go. That's right. All
All
right, what
right,
do we got
moving
next?
on.
Gentle Giant next. Um,
Yes, go for it.
all right, yeah, I got a lot. All right.
This gotta be a treat.
Yes, as the pile comes up, as the pile comes up. All right, so let's do the official first. So we've got,
Yep.
of course, Playing the Fool. So here is the brand new box set version that just came out.
Yep.
Was that this year? Yep. So this is amazing, right? This has all the missing stuff in it, which is great. Here is the earlier two-disc version, which is missing just a little bit, right? This was from God, when was this released? 2005, the DRT remaster. So I've got. Do I really need both? I don't know, but yeah, this is the one to get, the brand new one that just came out, which is
It
sounds
sounds
amazing.
great.
Sounds great. They did
Yep.
some work on the mix and whatnot, and they added in those couple tracks that were missing. So very, very cool stuff. And then I've got a ton of boots and things. I don't really have them in any order here, but I'll just go through them. We've got the
Mm-hmm.
Rainbow Music Hall, June 1980. So this was in Denver, Colorado, at the Rainbow Music Hall in Denver, Colorado. Very late before they packed it in. I do have a lot from that tour. I also have this one, The Last Giant Step, also from 1980. This was from New York. I believe this is from Comac, Long Island, if I remember correctly. So this is May 2024, May 24th, 1980. I've got The Last Steps. This is I guess this is the last show that they played in the States. I don't know exactly when it's from.
Wow.
So there's that. There's Out of the Woods. Here's the BBC sessions, which is very cool. Out of the Fire, more BBC sessions. Here's The Missing Face. This is from Cleveland, Ohio, 1977. This is very
Wow.
cool. Here's the King Biscuit Flower Hour. This is 1975, the Academy of Music, New York City. It's very good. Very good.
Yeah.
What
I
else?
gotta get that. I have a lot of the series.
This is also from the same tour, also from New York. This is Live in New York, 1975. This was recorded in White Plains Music Hall in White Plains, New York, October 75. That's like less than an hour from me.
Hmm.
Here we have Stockholm, Sweden, 1975. Here
What's
we
your
have,
favorite out of that tower? So
God, I don't know,
they're
Rick.
all they're all
They're
special
all
in their
great. I
own
mean,
way, eh?
The King Biscuit is probably the best sounding one out of all of them.
Okay.
It's really, really good, but they're all really good. This is Endless Life. This is from well, this is we've got the Community Theater in Berkeley, California, and also the White Plains show is on this as well. So I literally have the White Plains show twice. Here's Artistically Crime. When was this? This was live at Olympic Sparta Studios in Sweden, 1976. This is very good as well. And then last but not least, this is the oldest one. This is great too. This is live in Rome, 1974. This is not the greatest sound quality, but the playing is amazing. So this has like Giant, Cogs and Cogs, Proclamation, Funny Ways, The Runaway, Experience, Knots, Advent of Panurge, Nothing at All, Plain Truth. Great, great stuff. A lot of cool jamming on here and really, really good stuff. So yeah, there's a ton of really strong Gentle Giant stuff.
That
All right.
sounds great.
Yeah, yep. So I guess we can move on to what do we got? GI, I guess, next.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm trying to find. I'm missing one here. I'm missing a couple here. Oh, wait a minute. Here. Okay. Yeah, Ian Gillan. So
Yes.
we got live at the boot camp. And what's the other one I have? There's a couple of ones that he puts out. There's a lot of live stuff at the end of these, like remastered. So we don't count those, but man, they're great versions. I picked up this not long ago, 1977 live in Gillan Band. Do you have that one?
I do not have that.
It's a couple of songs that you have on one of the shows. They're on remastered, still, but this is the entire version of that. And then there's another one. I must have misplaced it that I have of Ian. It's a recent one. It's basically a compilation of the best of some of these things. And I don't know where, I guess I left it at home. Well, I probably have it on I was playing it before I left. It was basically like a compilation of some of the best of their performance and put it onto a CD. I'll give you the name of it. But yeah, what else you got?
Let's see. Well, the Live at Budokan I have obviously, which is this is the Ian Gillan band, right? So this is not the Gillan
Yep.
band. That's pretty cool. I have this one live at the BBC. This is from 1979 and 1980. So you got two BBC performances from 79, one from 80. Actually, well, one and a half from 80. This is really cool. This is with the with the Gillan band, and then I have this, which is Gillan Triple Trouble, Live Triple Trouble. So this is a three-disc set. So it's got a Live at the Rainbow performance from 1981, Live at the Reading Festival from 1981, and that the Reading Festival was available on a separate, that was available on its own for many, many years. I had that, but once I got this, I got rid of that. And then there's a BBC Radio Friday show from 1982 on here, and Live in Nottingham Rock City from 1981. So this is really the one to get if you like the Gillan band. So of course, with Bernie Torme and John McCoy and everybody. So really, really good stuff. So yeah, that's all
Yeah,
I got for you.
I'm missing a couple more. There's one where, like I said, I must have just left it on my file cabinet. But there's a couple more that where they were in '82, one of the Reading Festival, the entire performance, and he kicked ass. I mean, the his vocal power was just incredible. What a great band, and it's just a sad affair that the band didn't really take off all around the world and only in certain places. It's a shame because honestly, that was a great band. It would give Whitesnake a good run for its money, you know? All those bands around that period of time, I mean, like, to me, they fit the British invasion of heavy metal in my mind. Some of the power of those songs, man. I think the live performances is almost stronger than the album, and I think that's encouraging to know that he had that kind of power. Because what a to follow Deep Purple, and you have to have a real good band, and he did. It's just a lot of people didn't know about it, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, right? So, all right. I guess we go to G. I don't know. You have anything before GO?
Nope.
No. Okay. I guess Golden Earring next, right?
Yep. You gotta have that.
Hello, puppy.
I got it. Well, I got this couple times. The original one, and then they had the remastered, which is amazing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
This is amazing, and I love it. It's really good. This is like a great that they put in a live album at this point of their career because they were
Yeah.
getting so many albums, and the more albums you get, you're not going to get to hear the same songs live. So I was glad they put these extra bonus stuff in here too.
Yeah, this is a underrated live album for sure. Really, really good.
Big
This
time.
is like the band at the height of their powers, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Really good stuff.
right on. And what I did forget though is David Gilmour. I do have, if we're talking GI, I realized I have the DVDs here. But I also have the CDs. And for the long trip, I love listening to these albums when I'm driving. I think it's great. Live at the Albert Hall for the Island album, and then live at Pompeii where he comes back.
Okay, of course. Yeah.
And yeah, it was really great. It's really good recording. He has another one he just did for the latest last album, Strange in Luck was I believe it's called. And so I went and saw it in the theater just like a month ago, and it's released, so I could get it. It was pretty cool, but I like these the best myself.
Yeah, I don't have either of those.
Man, fantastic. I mean, have a
Yeah.
summary. Like if you sometimes it's like that with me where even in Genesis, like I'm grabbing which album do I feel like, and I kind of want to hear a song from it, but you grab the live one because they're gonna play a little bit of every album. So that's what I get when I with David Gilmour. Is I know, put it down. I'm gonna get a little anthology
A little bit
of him
everything.
by
Yeah,
just hearing live. Yeah.
exactly. All right, I got Government Mule next.
Okay.
There's, I have other, I didn't pull all of them, and there's many that I don't have, but some of my favorites are live at the Roseland Ballroom here in New York City. This is one of the early ones with the original trio. Great, great stuff. Powerhouse songs on here. A lot of jamming, a lot of really long tracks on here. It's cool covers and things like that. There's also Live with a Little Help from Our Friends, which again is terrific. Double disc set here. Got some great covers and great interpretations of some of their classic songs from back in the day. And then I have one that's more recent, which is Live at the Capitol Theater.
Yep.
And that's this one right here. This is great. Really good.
Fantastic.
Yeah, really, really good. Capitol Theater is such a legendary music venue over here. And yeah, great, great stuff here. Can't go wrong with
Have you seen
live.
them?
Yes,
Have you
I've
seen them
seen.
live?
Yes, I saw them on their first tour. And then I also saw them 3 years ago, maybe three, no, maybe it's 4 years ago. I don't know. It's within the last like 4 or 5 years. And I know Eric keeps bugging me. Is that coming up this year? Or did that happen already? I don't know. They're playing sometime fairly soon. I know Eric keeps saying it's, and they're playing here in New York. And Eric keeps asking me if I want to go. I don't know if that's already happened yet or whether that's coming up. I don't know, to be honest with you. But yeah, I
Hmm.
always try to see them when I can because they're just but they come around so often. It's like you can easily miss them. And but and if you do, you're like, oh, they'll be around next year. But we're great band. He's so good. I love Warren.
Oh, he's fantastic.
I've seen him with
I
the
saw him a
Allmans
couple
many
times,
times. Yeah, they're a
but I
great
never
band.
saw him as a headline show. I always saw him as an
Oh,
opening act
really?
back in the early days. So I'm overdue now that I have all these CDs of the band to see him do his own show.
So here's a little bit of trivia. So the first time I saw Government Mule was at Irving Plaza in New York City. Like I said, it was either the tour for the first album or the second album. I don't remember exactly. It was probably like 97. So we're going back a ways. You know who was the
Hmm.
opener on that tour? Derek Trucks. He
No
was he was
kidding.
he was a teenager. Yeah, he had just released his first solo record. So I was like, and he has pimply face and everything, and he was out there. I'm like, who's this? I'm like, Derek Trucks. I was like, is that Butch's nephew or son or something like that? And yeah, and then look where he is today, right? So yeah.
Wow. Oh yeah, big
That was a
time. Big.
wild show, man, because Derek played for like an hour and then like Government Mule played forever. It was just one of those. It was like I remember because that was back in the day where there was concerts would still go to like midnight or later, and
Yep.
it was a work night. And I went actually with a guy who I became friends with, who was one of my customers at that job I had at the time, and we went. We were drinking, having a great time, and I remember like it was like midnight, 12:30, and they're still playing. I'm like, God, I got to get out of here at some point. They're going to be here all night long. It was like a 4 hour show. I was like,
Oh,
geez.
they're known to do that. And
Oh,
they
yeah.
play whole albums of tribute. I mean, this band, it's nothing you can't throw at them.
Yeah.
Government Mule is amazing. And they don't play the same show because they got so much music in them. You never see the same thing twice.
That is correct. That is correct. All right. I only got two left. I got Grand
Okay,
Funk. What do you got?
okay, let's do that. Well, let's do Grand Funk.
Grand Funk Railroad. Yep.
Obviously the obvious ones. This one, the live album. right? The very first one. And I mean, again, this is in your face, raw, plug it in and a big giant microphone over the stage, captain this, I mean, it's so, like the speakers are blown or something. It's like, it's so distorted. It's so that they didn't have enough power to handle the
I love
band.
it.
That was the how that,
I
they were
love it.
so loud and so much ferocious energy here that they couldn't capture, but it's amazing energy. And yeah, you can see that this album helped put a mark that say you got to see this band live.
Yeah, that's raw, ferocious rock and roll for 1970 for sure. Yeah, I love that live album. I
Me
know
too.
I know
It's almost punk.
Our good friend Martin Popoff does not like this album at all, and I never understand why. I think it's amazing. So
Me
good.
too. And it's not like they play long songs other than In Need, maybe a couple in the sun. But other than that, he doesn't like long songs. I'm like, there's a lot of quick songs on here too. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I
And
like it.
in between that and the one you have in your hand, which I forgot to grab,
Oh,
but they did the 1971 tour live album, which came out years later, but it's official one.
I
So
don't have that.
this is great also. Yeah, this is recorded at Cobo Hall and Shea Stadium. So it's got like some of the best of some of those shows. I wish they would just release all of those shows on their own, but whatever. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's
That
got
was a big deal because they broke the Beatles record in the Shea
they
Stadium
did.
at that time, and then the Cobo Hall, which is legendary for you know, the live album from Kiss and whatnot. That's a piece of history I gotta get.
Oh yeah, this is really good. Yeah, this came out in 2002, so it's been out for a long time. But it's got "Are You Ready" from the Syndrome in Chicago, Foot Stomping Music from Cobo Hall, Paranoid from Cobo Hall, I'm Your Captain, Closer to Home from Shea Stadium, Hooked on Love from Shea Stadium, Get It Together from Shea Stadium, TNUC from Cobo Hall, Inside Looking Out from Cobo, Gimme Shelter from Shea Stadium, and Into the Sun from Cobo Hall. So really, really good stuff.
Wow, I'm
Yeah, I
getting
would
it.
say it's like a companion to this one for sure. And then
Oh, I'm getting it.
there's the other official live double live album, which is
What
great, right?
now that they have a keyboard player in their
Yeah,
band, they could caught in the act. And again, a good live album. I mean, it
really good
was
actually. Yeah,
great album. It's just a different attack. Cause now they're hit machines. Now they got some hits underneath them. And honestly, one of my favorite albums is "We're American Band"
that's
because of how powerful and how well recorded. And this is coming the aftermath of all that success. So it's great. It's a great history, and it's a double album at that time. And it's a whole show.
yeah, it's a really good sounding live album, and I believe that was recorded on the Shining On tour, which I think Shining On is just as good as We're an American Band. I love Shining On, and that's just the band, bigger, got the fourth member, you got Craig Frost on board. They're a little bit more polished, I think. So, but
Yep,
it's a great if we never heard this album, right, if this never happened, we'd be thinking that was like one of the great live albums of all time because it's really, really
I
good.
agree.
Yeah, it's really, really good. And then I don't know if you ever got this, but I got the Bosnia live album, which came out many,
No.
many years later. This is from 1997. So this is when they did that reunion tour with the last time they played with Mark. So
With Mark, okay.
yeah, this is with all of them on here. So again, this was recorded in New York City, I believe, if I remember correctly. And it's good. I don't listen to this as often, but it's still really good. And
How's the vocals?
fine. I mean, yeah, they sound great. This is still fairly, this I mean, it's got almost 30 years ago already,
I know,
but it's got
but
a
by that time,
it's a very similar set list to the closer to the other one you showed. So this got Are You,
okay,
but
caught in the act.
but it's got some of the old stuff too. It's got Are You Ready, Rock and Roll Soul, Foot Stomping Music, Time Machine. You got a medley of Paranoid, Sin's a Good Man's Brother, Mr. Limousine Driver, Heartbreakers on here, Aimless Lady, TNUC, Inside Looking Out, Shining on the Locomotion, We're an American Band, Mean Mistreater, Some Kind of Wonderful, To Get Back In, Bad Time, I'm Your Captain, and Loneliness. And
Oh, they got it
it's
all.
got an orchestra too, which is really good. So why did I
Oh,
say New York?
nice.
I don't know why I said New York City before. It was recorded in Bosnia. That's why it's called Bosnia. Uh,
Oh,
but yeah, but this is really good too. It's with an orchestra and it's got a mix of those two early live albums. So a lot of that cool stuff. So
right
well
on.
worth having.
So I have GR Great White,
Cool.
three albums from them. This one is called let me see, it's live in New York, Hooked live in New York. So they have a couple albums under their belt here, and of course, like a lot of these things, they're throwing a few covers in here. But this is basically their music, right? On this one, it's Great White Stage. They do a good version of Train to Nowhere from Savile Brown. They do Baby I'm Gonna Leave You on here from Zeppelin. Really
I
good
remember that.
version. And
Yeah.
then their greatest stuff, Rock Me, One Bitten Twice Shy, which is a cover anyway. But only what they were famous at that time. And then they put an album, being a Zepp head like I am, the Great Zeppelin, a tribute to Led Zeppelin, and they did 14 tunes. And check out the songs, because I mean, people don't would normally not want to top something so majestic as the original, but they do an amazing job. They open with In the Light, Living, Loving, Made, Ramble On, Baby, oh no, Since I'm Loving You, No Quarter, Tangerine, Going to California, Thank You, Dial Maker, or Dale Maker, whatever, All My Love, Immigrant Song, When the Levee Breaks, The Rover, which is one of our favorite songs, and Stairway to Heaven. So pretty bold thing to do for them. And Jack could sing. He could
Oh
sing
yeah.
like Robert. He can really do that. Then I
Your
also have
Jamaica. Jamaica.
yeah, Jamaica. Did you make her? Did you make her?
The Jamaica. Yeah, there's like so
Whatever.
many ways that people say that should be
I
pronounced.
know. It's funny. GTR, the King Basic Flower Hour GTR. It's actually better than the studio record because the studio record pretty tame. It's got a little bit of strength being a live setting. So I got that. And then my from a Canadian, we got to do the Guess Who. On live at the Paramount Theater, which is awesome to get in the CD world because they put all these bonus songs on there that wasn't there. And what a shame that it wasn't had. Didn't have Share the Land and No Time and all these songs, Hand Me Down World, which is great to have. Great performance. And they get when Randy's not in the band at this point and they still riding high on American Woman and Share the Land success, and they needed to record an album. Now they plan, I believe it was supposed to be live at the Carnegie Hall, but they recorded it, and Burton's voice was a little raw, and he didn't think he had the best voice on it. So there is a recording that was scheduled to do that, but then they went and got at the live at the Paramount Theater, which they said, let's keep recording till we'll pick the best. Maybe have a compilation. This was such a good show after a 3 days rest, they just released it. And they didn't bother continue recording the other shows. I wish they do, because we'd be appreciating them today. Just a couple of DVDs to back some of these things up. The Guess Who came back in '83 and then broke up for whatever reason. And then they came back, which is a couple live albums on it called Running Back, with this one called Running Back Through Canada. This is around 1999, I believe it is. And Randy's back in the band like he was in that last one. And what way they didn't know is that the bass player would later buy the trademark of the logo and got their permission to do a Guess Who charity show and end up keeping the name. And of course, they duked it out this year. It was announced that 2026, the Guess Who got their name back with Randy and Burton owned their name, and no, and so now they're going to be on tour, which I got tickets to see that. And but anyway, this was a great live album if you want to get it. To double live album, and they also throw in a couple of them jamming songs like "Let It Ride" from the BTO period, and I believe "Taking Care of Business" and stuff like that. They do jam a few BTO tunes. What else I got next? Oh, by the way, I didn't show this. I just found this is a bootleg, but I had to get it. The Grand Funk Railroad Live. It's a rare recording of them, and it shows a bunch of performances of the '70s. This was the live at the LA Forum. Next would be, I think, would be GNR. Back in the day when I actually listened to them, I hardly ever do now. They pissed me off. I went to some, and he was just a mean jerk. We had Faith
Axl
Moore.
Rose mean? No.
Yeah, we called him asshole Rose for a while there. What happened is he just caused a riot in St. Louis, and he'd come into Detroit with Metallica and Faith No More. And major big expense, major tour, stadium tour at that, Silverdome. And he caused a riot because some fan took a picture without his permission, and caused a riot. And then he was late to come to Detroit. So Metallica have already played, and it's over a 90-minute waiting for this guy. And then he shows up, and he got all pissed off that during the piano didn't come up all the way through the floor for November Rain, that he sat there singing, is this you could be mine on the stairs pouting while the whole band's in. He just sat there and then cursing at the road crew. Meanwhile, he's late. People are already pissed at waiting this long. And then he said, oh, I'm sorry, I shouldn't take it out on you guys. And he played the song again, but he runs around this time. And it's like, we'd rather you just play another song, dude. But anyway, he left a bad taste in my mouth. I've seen him before with Blind Melon open up, and they were great. It was like a great Aerosmith band to me. You know, that's what I like. And they were really good. He had a good attitude, and he was respectful to the bands around him. Then he became a diva and then turned around, whatever. But anyway, there are some good recordings of them performing some of the best of those three albums, with, well, four albums if you want to count Lies. So I did get it, and, but because of who he is, and there he is acting like an idiot in the audience there, yeah, I rarely play it because he left. I think you got to treat your fans with respect.
Of
I'm all
course.
about that as a performer, and it bothered me. And no good song, if you're a dick, you're a dick. So Use Your Illusion 1 and 2, this was a good performance of Japan. I was waiting because at that time he was having all these personnel changes. Gibby Clark is not in the band, who's the main songwriter. I was getting disappointed. Every band, every tour, they're changing members. And so if I would get a watch or anything, I'll try to get the one of the peer set. But ultimately, I didn't follow the band. And then when he goes and joined AC/DC for a little bit, and friends of mine said, hey, I got to go check that out. And I'm saving my money.
Yeah, I didn't go to that either. Yeah, I saw the Giant Stadium show on that big tour with Metallica and Faith No More, and he was an asshole at that show as well. They came on over an hour late, and then all he did was berate the audience and berate the road crew. And we were like,
Yes.
"What is wrong with this guy?" First of all, you show up all late, and all you're doing is spewing hatred to the audience and to the road crew, and like who are working to get you guys ready for. It's like this not good, not good at all.
Yeah, yeah. And so anyway, and my last one to wrap it up is Buddy Guy. He has a called The Real Deal, the DVD. It's a great band. But this one is Live at Legends, his own place in Chicago he owns, and it's a good summary of all of his hits. He made a real big comeback, having Jeff Beck and all these guest stars on an album in the '90s, and it kind of resurrected his career in a big way that everybody started to appreciate him a lot. And he came to Windsor quite a bit. I got a Buddy Guy pick. I got to pat him on the back. He shook my hand. The time I met BB King, and he gave me a Lucille pin. It's like a guitar Lucille you put on a pin. I was at Detroit Chennai Park, and Buddy Guy played on that show. And then I saw him open up for Jeff Beck at the Freedom Hill concert in Detroit. I've seen him several times. We went all the way to, me and Paula went all the way to Royal Oak Theater. First time being in this college town in Michigan to see him and his element. I'm a big fan. I'm just so impressed with the guy can have such a wide vocal range. I mean, he can be deep and he can be high as Little Richard with his voice. And then he would go run around and go climb up the stairs and playing wirelessly, playing guitar all the way through the crowd, and he's like in his 80s. He was actually a better showman than Jeff Beck, who's got more younger years than him. He's just an incredible performer. He's one of my favorite blues guitar players of all time, and mainly because of his charismatic personality. He's great here. He's great at singing, but he has the whole package deal. He can really engage with the audience, and then he can call back the microphone, be way over here, and make everybody command respect. We're all listening for dynamic, and he's singing so soft, everybody want to hear. And then he go, scream his head off, and he just blast everybody's head off. He was just incredible dynamic. You just never knew. It's like holding the Jack in the Box down and wait, pop, he comes out. You never knew when the guy was just gonna go and be explosive. Yak all tame in one blues song, and then he just goes and have a fit with the guitar and just going like a Jimi Hendrix experience kind of thing. You just never get the same thing twice. And Buddy Guy will always be one of my favorite blues guitar players. That's the real deal, the guy that grew from poverty right to rag to riches. You can't not respect what he went through, and through the racism, through the poverty, through all the different things, people getting more famous than you are. You were a backing guy for Muddy Waters. You're way better than Muddy. For a long time, people tamed his career. And he said he wanted to be like a Jimi Hendrix back in the day. And they all gave, no, 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 that's too noisy, no feedback. And, he was admiring Jeff Beck and Eric Clapton, getting bold with the music. He wanted to do it. So when he finally went on his own name, there was no holding back. He did everything from Chicago, electric blues, country blues, and then psychedelic blues. When you go to a concert, he made sure he does all that. He's not one dimensional. Like B.B. King can be one dimensional and sometimes fast or slow songs, whatever. But he will take you through the time machine of Fender guitars, how the guitars sounded in the 50s, and he gets louder in the 70s. He almost goes right up to the modern time of how guitars should sound, and that's what a Buddy Guy show's like. And so, if you haven't seen him, you guys got to see him while he's still kicking.
Yeah, I've never
I
seen
think
him.
he's retiring. He's gone. He's saying goodbye to everybody this time around. So, go check him out.
Yeah, I've never gone. I had the opportunity to go see him on that Jeff Beck tour, and I didn't go. It's like for whatever reason. So, all right, the last thing
Truthfully,
I
he
have
stole the
today.
show.
What's that?
He kind of stole the show
Yeah,
to a lot of people.
that's what some people said. Yeah. Last thing I have left is the Groundhogs. Great underground UK blues rock band from the early 70s. This is from Leeds University, live at Leeds, same Leeds that the Who recorded their live album. This was April 13th, 1971. Only 6 tracks, lots of long jamming. Tony McPhee, one of the great unheralded guitar heroes of the 70s. Rick, you need this. This is really, really good. If you haven't listened to the Groundhogs, you would love these guys.
Yeah.
Think of like a heavier Peter Green era Fleetwood Mac.
Oh, I love that period.
Yeah, this is good. Just power trio stuff, really, really good. Tony McPhee, Peter Crickshank, and Ken Pastelnick on bass and drums. Awesome stuff.
Do you
Really,
have their studio albums as well?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I got it.
There's a few of the studio albums that are great. So yeah, really, really good. Look into the Groundhogs. I think you really like.
I will. I will. I will. Yeah. If you never steer me in the wrong place.
Yep. So there you
All
have it,
right, my friend.
everybody. Letter G. If there's any bands, artists that you really like that start with the letter G that maybe we didn't talk about today, mention those down in the comments below. Like I
Please
said
do.
at the beginning, Grateful Dead, we're going to do a separate show on because I have a ton of Grateful Dead stuff to show off. So, and I'm not the biggest Deadhead in the world, but I have a lot of Grateful Dead live albums. So we'll do that in a
Awesome.
separate episode coming up real soon. So, till next time, visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram all the damn
All the
time.
damn time.
Please subscribe if you haven't already and click on that notification bell so you get alert of all of our content as a post. And please do hit the like button before you leave. Thanks for watching us here on Live Album Love. For Rick Lamonte, I am P. Pardo. We'll see you real soon. Take care, everybody. Bye bye.
Take care.